Hey everybody, I'm Marie Bard Curtis of the Quilted Poodle. This Quilted Poodle Bite will show you how to use the gold feature multi-placement in Select and Sew in QCT 5. I've already put in my safe area, so I'll just touch Select and Sew. Then it requests that I read in a pattern, and let's see. I'm going to use this wreath pattern. So it takes me immediately to pattern placement in Select and Sew. So as you can see, it's showing the pattern that I just selected. Now I'm going to use the placement nodes to place that pattern within my block. So I'll move my needle right to the corner here, up to the intersection of the horizontal line and the vertical line of my block, and I'm going to place the first part of my pattern. I'm using a block placement which has two placement nodes. So moving my machine right over that intersection, I will touch the upper left. Then I'm going to move my machine to the lower right corner at the intersection of the horizontal line and the vertical line, and I will touch the placement node there. And notice when you touch the placement node, it goes from gray to green. Green means go. Now because I have the gold package, I can use multi-placement, and that will allow me to place multiple components of my design at one time. So once you hit the multi-placement box and you put a check mark there, it's going to tell you you must now use the multi-pattern placement buttons to capture which components to place. So I'm going to say OK. So right now I've not captured any of my components. I've just indicated to my machine that I want to place my pattern in the general area that's confined by the two placement nodes, the two green circles. So the first thing I'm going to do is capture my ditch. So I'll press on ditch, and notice the box around my design is now dark green. That means the ditch has been captured around my design. The next thing I want to do is place the margins. So I'll click on that. The margin has already been added, indicating it really is in the same spot as the ditch. But I'm going to bring the margin in by using my arrow keys underneath where it says margin and my lock position. So as it moves in the sides, it will also move in the top and bottom the same distance. And you'll also notice that as I touch the margin and the gray line of the margin comes in, my design, which is also inside of the margin, is decreasing in size. The margin is the distance between your design and the edge of the block or seam. So as the margins decrease, your pattern size will also decrease. And so if I want to capture my margin, even though I've been adjusting it, I have to hit the margin button again, and notice the margin around my design is now blue. That means it has been captured so it can be sewn. But now what I haven't done is captured my pattern. You can see it there in gray, but it will not sew until I touch the pattern button. And I will be asked, would you like to place this pattern again? No, I'm going to use the pattern that I have right there. So as you can see, all three of the elements or components of my design will be stitched at once because I have multi-placement. My ditch will be stitched, my margin will be stitched, and my pattern will also be stitched. So I'm going to touch quilt, and my machine will move when I tell it to sew. My needle is up. going to go to the corner and begin stitching the ditch. So the first component of my design has been stitched, and that being the ditch. Ensuring that my needle is up, I'm moving in to now stitch the margin. And now it's going to move to stitch my pattern. And of course I could be clipping my threads in between, but I'm not. I've finished sewing my multi-placement pattern. So the beauty of the gold feature for multi-placement is that you can sew 3 components all in one swipe, and you don't have to sew one aspect, come back, place say the margin, then stitch that, come back, place your pattern, and then stitch that. So that's how multi-placement works as one of the gold features in QCT 5. Thanks for watching.